guys, it's Scott here and welcome to the very first episode of Super Squads, my brand new FIFA 20 squad building series. Hopefully you do enjoy this one. If you do, please do make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more Super Squads as well as daily live streams and videos. Now, obviously, as the first episode, there may be a couple of tweaks that may need to happen going forward, so I am open to any feedback, suggestions and improvements in the comment section down below, so feel free to put those in there so that we can make this series as good as we possibly can. So, we'll get into how it works. Obviously, the first episode is going to be me on my own, but this series, it has a beautiful element to it that I can do it on my own or with a guest. There will be certain things that are different when I'm doing it with a guest compared to on my own, and I'll get to those as we get through the episode. But for now, let's jump into the very first episode of Super Squads. So to start things off, how does this series work? Well, we obviously start off with a marquee player. Now, last night I actually managed to pack myself a Timo Werner untradeable in the 80 plus SBC Bundesliga player pick pack thing. And ridiculous pull. He's worth over 1 million coins. His stats look absolutely phenomenal. And I can't wait to use this guy properly in a team. So it would be rude not to start the series by packing an absolute animal and then whacking them in as the marquee player. Now he is going to have to whack into a random formation. So we're going to stop in 3, 2, 1, pow. We get the 4-2-4 to start things off as the first episode. Interesting. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, this is where our big wheel comes into play. Now, you can see it may look a little complicated, but trust me, it is not. Basically, for this series, we need to spin ourselves, and if we are with a guest, those as well, 2 leagues, 2 nations, and a card type. Now, this will determine the restrictions and requirements for the squad that you have to build in 5 minutes. Only other rules really, only 1 icon allowed, players can only move 1 position, and if you fail to meet the requirements or fail to fill a position in the 5 minutes that you are given, they are replaced by bronzes. Now, let's start things off with our first spin. So my first league is going to be the Bundesliga. Now, in this scenario, this is actually the league that our marquee player is from. So we just go 1 to the right, and this is going to be the Scottish League that we're going to have as our first league. So we're going to need 2 Scottish League players in our squad, as well as 2 players from the J League as our second one. Okay, that's going to be hard. So Scottish League and J League to start things off. Next, we need 2 nations. We're going to get ourselves Colombian. Okay. And the second one is going to be Serbian. Okay, Colombian, Serbian, the J League and the Scottish League. And then our card type that we're going to need is going to be something good, something good, something good, something good. Oh my god, go 1 more. Ah, we need a 1 to watch. 1 away from getting an icon. That would have made things much easier. So, I'm now going to have 5 minutes. This is going to be hard. Okay, so it is now time to get into the squad building. Now, if I was doing this with a guest, then I would spin them a set of requirements that are different to mine, so that we are building 2 completely different teams. And you can see by the stuff on the wheel that there are going to be some crazy squads built in this series. Some of them may actually be impossible, to be honest with you. I've not tested every single combo because there's a lot that are available, but I imagine that some of them are going to be ridiculous with some of the formations that you can get. Now, at this stage, we've got 5 minutes to build our team. Now, I need 2 players from the Scottish League, 2 from the J League, a Colombian player, a Serbian player, and a 1 to watch. This could be pretty hard. Now again, reiterate the rules from before. Players can only move 1 position from where they normally start. You can only have 1 icon unless you get one as your icon type on the wheel, in which case you can have 2. If people feel like there are rules that need to change, then feel free to let me know in the comments. And there is 1 extra thing that isn't going to be evident in this episode, but would be if we are with a guest. And that is, if you finish your team quickly, then you get a benefit. And we'll get into that once the 5 minutes are over, because I need to utilize you guys on Twitter in order to finish off this episode. So, our timer is going to start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, 5 minutes. Now, Off the top of my head, I don't think there's any Colombian one to watch. And I feel like the easiest way to get the one to watch card in here is to make it either Colombia or Serbian. Now, unless I'm being really silly, then I believe that we do have a Serbian one to watch card in Luka Jovic. Oh, God. Club Real Madrid. This is already taking too long. Where is he? Jovic is Serbian, yes. Now, I'm 99% sure this is a ones to watch card, right? Somewhere. Ones to watch Jovic, right. He fits in there. We need a Colombian, so... Oh. James Rodriguez's Scream card can go there. Now, he's got 5 links coming off him. I might have to just go Hazard here, to be honest with you, and just get him in the team, right? Because then Jovic will be on full chem, Hazard will be on full chem. James Rodriguez is going to need an extra link. I may need to whack an icon in. Centre back wouldn't be really useful. Maybe at right centre mid. Let's do that. Oh God, we are already running out of time. I've still got to get my 2 leagues in. I've got 2 Scottish and 2 J-League players to fit in here. Let's go across to the Bundesliga, and I think I'm just going to go with Gnabry in here. Now, the problem being that if people end up getting a guess at these positions, they're going to be so obvious. So obvious. So let's just go with... I don't know which versions of Gnabry those are, so I'm going to go with normal ones. Now, we've got 3 minutes left. Scottish League, can we get a hyperlink? Surely there's got to be a hyperlink. Surely there has to be. Scottish Prem. And I guess just Scottish would probably make it easier. The left back, Celtic, Kilmarnock, Rangers. Surely there's got to either be a Celtic or Rangers Scottish centre back, right? Are you... Okay, he's got 71 pace. It's not great, to be perfectly honest with you. There is currently a moth in my room, which is a bit scary. So he's on full chemistry. He still needs another link. We've got 2 minutes 20 left. Right. I think the only other way we're going to be able to do this is J-League on the right-hand side. And do the same thing. So... Oh my goodness. J-League. We need a hyperlink here, I think. Shoji... okay. So... Let's go with him. And then Gamba Osaka was the team that he played for. Do they... No, surely they have to. We are running out of time. Surely they have to have a right back. They do. He's garbage. He's 56 rated. Okay, it doesn't matter. Right, they're getting a hyperlink, but how the hell are we going to get Chem here? I think I am going to have to go with an icon in here. I don't think it matters what nation. No, it doesn't. So any icon in the middle here should work. So ones I have in my club, let's just go with Pullet. Right? That gets Gnabry onto full chem. Werner's on full chem. James Rodriguez is on full chem. Shoji's on full chem. Now all I should need, if I'm thinking about this correctly, is a Scottish centre-back from the Scottish League. And assuming that that actually exists, which you'd assume it would, then we've got this done. And we will have hit all of our requirements. So McGregor to go in there. That is 3 players. We only needed 2 from the Scottish League. We've got 2 J-League players. We've got a Colombian in James Rodriguez. We've got a Serbian in Luka Jovic. And a one to watch in Luka Jovic as well. Everybody on the team is on full chemistry, and we are done with roughly 20 seconds to go. So that is beautiful. We actually managed to hit all the requirements, so we do not get any bronzes in our team. Now, the problem is, I'm going to have to jump into a game with this team, and this defense is awful. Absolutely awful. But it could get worse. So at this point, this is where I require your help when I'm on my own. If I'm doing this with an opponent, then obviously we'll be guessing each other's players. But once the squad building section ends, we now get a chance in order to ruin each other's teams. So I will be utilizing you guys on Twitter when I'm doing this series solo, and that is exactly what I have done here. So I tweet out my team with a blank squad other than Werner, and I tell everybody what my requirements are. So, squad requirements: 2 Scottish League players, 2 J-League players, a Colombian, a Serbian, a 1 to watch. I randomly spun a random number between 1 and 11, which was number 2, which then corresponds to my left-back spot in my team as we go from goalkeeper to striker. And the first person to respond has 3 yes or no questions to guess my left-back. If I'm doing this with an opponent on the episode, for example a guest, then there is a benefit to finishing your team quicker. For example, if you finish your team in 5 minutes, you get 1 position where you can guess. If you finish your team in 4 minutes, you get to guess at 2 positions. 3 minutes, 3 positions. You get the idea. So, speed is a very, very nice element in order to try and ruin your opponent's team even more. But today we are just doing it with Twitter. And so Uday was the first person to respond to guess my left back. So if you want to be a part of this going forward, make sure you follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. So, first question was, is he from the Bundesliga? Obviously, I'm using an SPFL player. No, he's not from the Bundesliga. Honestly, I don't even mind if I lose the guy because he's already a silver. It's not great. His second question coming in, is he from La Liga? Nope. No, he's not. He is, again, from the SPFL. Is he Brazilian? No. So, he didn't get any information, really, in terms of what he can narrow it down to. He's just wiped out a few things that it isn't, which doesn't really help, considering it could be any other left-back in the entire game. So, he guesses at... is it Digne? No, it is not. So luckily for me, I keep my left back even though he's not very good, so I don't really mind. But we are now going to jump into a game with my team once I've bought the players, and we're going to see how well we can do. Now, if I'm playing this alone or with a guest, it works exactly the same. The scoreline equals discard. So if I lose, I'm going to end up discarding something. We'll randomize positions and stuff like that, and then get people from Twitter to choose. Obviously, if I was playing against an opponent, then they would randomly choose a position once I've mixed up my team. But let's jump into a game. Right then, here we go. Jumping into the game now. I really, really need to win, and I hope that this Werner is going to be sick, and he's just going to absolutely smash it for us. So, let's do this. Nice ball. Get back to Hullet. Oh! Oh, it's lovely! No, Timo! Werner! I don't really know what just happened there, but we're 1-0 up. As it stands, we're not discarded anything. Werner feels very, very smooth on the ball so far. That was a mad save, to be honest with you, but he bundles it in. 1-0. Jovic to Werner. No. Jovic finds Timo. And he puts it away. This guy that I'm playing against is making some very, very odd decisions. He basically just gave me back the ball there. So I'll take that. Werner with a nice finish that time. No rebounds or nonsense required. Just a lovely little curler into the right-hand side. And we are 2-0 up. Oh, no. That's just poor defending. I mean, this guy has threatened in a way. He's had a few shots, but I've not really been that worried about them. But that was just awful. Neymar's completely unmarked. I mean, to be fair, I'm not massively helped by the fact I'm using silvers and bronzes in my defense. But still, no excuses there. 2-1. I mean, I feel like I should be at least 3-1 up at this stage. It's about to be half-time. We may have one last chance. Probably not. Hazard loses the ball again. He's been really poor so far. And we'll quickly look at the half-time stats and see what things are looking like. In terms of the shots, pretty even. But again, I don't feel like his have been that scary because I blocked most of them, even with my dodgy defense. Hazard should have scored. Werner feels really good. His dribbling feels spectacular. So let's hope for more of that in the second half. Oh my god, McGregor, what a save. I thought he was offside. Oh my goodness. Big saves. Nice play. Let's go, Hullet. And he does have Mateus, but it's fine. Back to Werner. Sidesteps him and bangs it in. Nice. I needed that because we were on the ropes a little bit. He hit the post. He had that big save from McGregor in my goal, but Werner and Hullet linking up. Beautiful finish. That dribbling, I'm telling you, he feels really, really good. Nice. Give it to him. Oh, no. I'm only 3-1 up. Why am I getting cocky? He might have been offside anyway. Oh, dearie me. Oh my. This card feels fantastic so far. I mean, it's only one game, obviously, but my first impressions, his dribbling is fantastic. He feels rapid. His shooting is clean as hell. Sick card. Oh, God. Brega, well in. Yes then, Hazard, you're away. Werner's in the box, waiting. But let's give it to Jovic, who is going to very, very flukily finish this game off once and for all. 5-1. That's a generous scoreline, because I feel like this guy's defense has just sort of fallen apart at the very end. Werner's been running rings around him, to be fair, because he's amazing. But this guy hasn't been that bad to deserve a 5-1 loss. It's very harsh. And there we have it. So, that is a 5-1 victory. As I said before, a little bit harsh, but we will happily take that. Werner was an animal. Honestly, I was expecting him to be good, but I didn't expect him to feel as silky smooth as he did on the ball. So, highly, highly recommend trying him out if possible. And let's get into the outro. So that is it for the very first episode of Super Squads on my channel. What did you guys think? Do you have any improvements or suggestions for things that I need to change? If so, please feel free to put them in the comment section down below. But if you did enjoy it and you want to see more, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments as well. But there we go. The series has begun. Hopefully we can do more of these if you guys enjoy it, and hopefully we can get some guests on soon. And yeah, Super Squads is here. I'm loving it. I hope I can see you again in the next episode. Goodbye.